Okay, we're here with Al Stewart. Thanks for being here today, Al. I thought it might be nice for us to ask Al a few questions to get to know him. So why don't we kick off? Al, tell us, how'd you come to follow Jesus in the first place?
Hey, Tim. Well, I've been a follower of Jesus for over 40 years now. How did that happen? My mum dragged me along to church as a kid, but I didn't have ears to hear. I came down from a country town to study in Sydney, and God put me in a residential college beside another young guy who was a switched on Christian. His name was Bryson Smith. And I was very impressed with how he lived. And he invited me to hear the Bible taught by the chaplain at the uni, Philip Jensen. And over time, that's what God used to open my eyes and ears to know Jesus. So that was 1979. So what's that? That's like 41 years. Long time.
That's a long time. You're married to Kathy. Kathy's fabulous. Tell us a bit more about your family then.
Yeah, Kathy's a very patient woman. We've been married 39 years. And 4 kids, 3 daughters and a son. Our 3 daughters are married. Our son's fallen in love, so who knows what might happen. And our eldest Amy's got a couple of kids. Oscar's 9, Jesse's 7, and being a granddad is great fun. Actually, one of the big downsides of this virus is we can't see our daughter in Canberra and the kids, or our daughter in Melbourne. So we're feeling that. And I'm sure there's other people hurting more, but that's where I particularly notice it.
Yeah, it's tough on the grandparents. Tell us a little bit about your work history, Al. You always been involved in ministry. Have you done a few different things?
No, not always in ministry. I became a Christian at uni, but I was studying marketing, and I worked in the business world for a few years, and then got the hand on the shoulder about Christian ministry. I did an apprenticeship at New South Uni in ministry work, and then studied at Moore College in the mid-'80s. And since then, that's about 30 years. I've done lots of different things in ministry work. Been pastor of a church for 13 years. Worked with youth and children's organisation. One of the highlights has been I've done a lot of work with City Bible Forum. We talk with suits about Jesus. And the workplace is a great place for Christian people to share the gospel, and I've been involved in helping people do that. And the other thing, I guess part of the intro to FIEC is I've been involved with a church planting network called Geneva Push. And for the last 10 years, we've been aiming to help young couples like you and Belinda plant churches. And through that, I've got to know a lot of the pastors in the FIEC network. So that's been doing lots of stuff.
Okay. You've now just recently been appointed the National Director of the FIEC.
Yeah. I started the day that it was announced churches couldn't meet.
Okay, great. Great start. Great start.
Right, okay. It was like turning up at a swim school to be the swim coach and being told, great to see you, we've drained the pool. So,
yeah. How about you tell us what a National Director is, first of all? What exactly will you be doing in your job?
Okay. As a National Director, I understand my job is to help grow that network of independent evangelical churches. There's about 40 around the country. My job is to grow that network by helping the churches grow themselves, welcome new churches, and particularly how do we plant new churches. And one of the beauties of FIEC is we can plant churches anywhere, not limited by geography or whatever boundaries. And then also to how do we help get more workers into the harvest? How do we build that? How do we recruit and train and look after gospel workers in our churches? And then there's also the other important thing, the policies and procedures you need to help a network and individual churches grow. It's that kind of stuff you think, oh, boring, until you need it.
What's your, I guess, dream or hope for FIEC over the next little while?
Well, I figure I'm 61. I reckon I've got 7 or 8 years left before I'm on soft food and a walking frame. I want to see the network grow. More and more people come to know Jesus around this country. more and more healthy, flourishing churches, and to look after particularly look after the pastors who lead them, because there's a lot of wear and tear on people in ministry these days. As an old bloke, a lot of what I do is talk with and try and help younger blokes, because I think it's a bit tougher now than when I started.
Last question. What will be your message for, our church down here in Melbourne? You're up in Sydney, aren't you? Is that where you are?
Yeah,
right?
We live near Bondi Beach, and the Bondi Waverley area is the hotspot for the virus. We've got lots of backpackers here who like to...
Yeah, right. We'd probably appreciate it if you stopped going to the beach, actually, Al, just for a little while. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, with my haircut, I don't spend too much time at the beach. Anyway.
What would be your message for us down here in Melbourne?
Well, I guess for Christians everywhere, I said this in a little introductory video. We talk about the sovereignty of God. Now is the time to really embrace that. And so I think a lot of people in our society have had their confidence shaken, and that's probably a good thing. But as we look to the future, we may not know, or I don't think anyone knows what will happen in the next weeks, months, or year or two. But we know where history's going, and we know that if we belong to the Lord Jesus, the big picture and individually, it'll be okay. And so it's hold on to the sovereignty of God and know that we might know what he's doing, but he knows.
That's good. Hey, thanks, Al. We'll look forward to hearing from you in a couple of minutes. So thank you for
Thanks, Tim,
for us today.
Nice talking with you, mate.